The Ryan and Ryan Power Hour podcast on SportsTownChicago.com.
I was walking down the street when out the corner of my eye I saw a pretty little thing approaching me.
Welcome back to Ryan and Ryan here on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky.
All right, we pulled up the top 100 fantasy players for 2015, and this is the top 100. This is from Eric Carabell, and this was updated just a few days ago. It was updated June 15th, so a little more than a couple days ago. And the number one overall player, fantasy-wise, according to him, is Le'Veon Bell.
That's unbelievable. He's suspended, what, is it 2 or 4 games?
I'm not sure. I think it's just 2 games.
I'm not taking a guy first overall that's suspended, because in football, for whatever reason, those guys that come back from suspensions never play well.
Right. Number 2, Eddie Lacy from Green Bay.
Wow, he made a huge jump.
Yeah, he did. Number 3, Jamal Charles for Kansas City.
I'd probably want to take Jamal Charles first overall.
Yeah, either him or Lynch. I'd probably take Lynch, actually.
Oh, yeah, or is Lynch number 4?
Lynch is number 4. 5th is Adrian Peterson. That's never a bad option either. 6th is Matt Forte, so he stays put as one of the best running backs.
When I have the first overall pick, you never know who I'm going to take.
Yeah, we found that out last year. Arian Foster, running back from Houston, comes in at number 7. DeMarco Murray, number 8. He's on Philadelphia now. LaShawn McCoy, he is on Buffalo.
I think that's a little high for DeMarco. I know he had such a great year last year.
I'm thinking LaShawn McCoy's a little high up at number 9. I don't know.
Yeah, he had a bad year, except the Bills have a better O-line than the Eagles.
Antonio Brown, number 1 wide receiver. He is at number 10 overall.
Okay.
Number 11, C.J. Anderson, running back from Denver. Number 12, Jeremy Hill, running back from Cincinnati.
I think C.J. Anderson's a little too much of a risk because he might not, because Monte Ball or Ronnie Hillman could still beat him out for the starting running back spot.
Right. Number 13, Demaryius Thomas. He wasn't. I mean, he had some good games, but there was definitely some games where he didn't do anything.
Oh, there were some games that he was invisible.
Yeah, I had him last year, and boy, he did not do good. And I think you had him in one of your leagues.
I had him in my other league, and I remember some games he just disappeared.
Right. He's number 13 overall. Des Bryant, number 14 overall. He probably should be ahead of Demaryius.
Well, Des Bryant's another risk. Now that he's saying, I'm going to miss some games if I don't get a contract.
Right. I mean, he's a great talent. He had a really good year last year. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
If he doesn't have a contract by the time I have a draft, I'm not taking him.
I agree with Antonio Brown as the number 1 wide receiver, though.
Oh, yeah, he was phenomenal.
I agree with that for sure. 15 is Odell Beckham Jr. He certainly wasn't on the list last year. He's number 15 now. He did a tremendous job last year with the Giants. Number 16, Jordy Nelson from Green Bay.
Yeah, too bad he doesn't get bonus points for the amazing catches he made.
Right. Alfred Morris, running back from Washington, he moves up to 17.
He wasn't even good last year.
No, and I mean, a lot of that was with the team, but also, I mean, how good are you going to be? 18, Julio Jones, after really being non-existent. He was hurt for a lot, right? He was hurt for a lot of the season.
No, that was the year before. He played injured, though.
Yeah, he's number 18 overall. A.J. Green, Cincinnati, he's pretty good wide receiver. Number 20, Calvin Johnson. Number 21 is Alshon Jeffrey. So right
that sounds
Johnson.
Like whenever Johnson's taken is going to be a steal.
Right. Rob Gronkowski, first tight end, number 1 overall tight end. That's probably right from New England.
That probably is. Tight ends is going to be like a bad position.
As I'm looking down the list, the next tight end pops up at number 36. So from 22 to 36, there's no more.
Well, you don't even know what Jimmy Graham's production will be being in the Seahawks offense.
Right.
He might not. I don't think Jimmy Graham will have the production for how early he'll be taken in the draft.
His production will go down because Seattle gets everybody involved, which means Graham's not going to get involved as much as he would in New Orleans when he was like the main dude at the red zone.
Although you never know, maybe he'll take away some red zone carries from Marshawn Lynch to be a red zone target.
Right. Number 23, the number 1 overall quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Number 23 is the number 1 quarterback.
Right. Well, as far as points.
I'm sure that list will definitely change up because I think Peyton Manning was ranked in the top 10 last year.
Andrew Luck, number 24. I understand that he had a great year last year. He can only go up from here, really. I mean, he's great. I had him last year. He was really good. He was a big reason why I almost won the league, but I didn't.
I won the league. Although also, isn't he the reason that you lost to your brother? Because he did so bad. He did bad. I think that would have been the second to last week. It was the game against Dallas when he got yanked for being so bad.
Right. Otherwise it probably would have been you and me in the final because I think I lost pretty close to my brother.
And it was because your Colts players did really bad.
Yeah, I think I had Andrew Luck. I know I had who's their tight end?
Was it Allen or Fleener?
Dwayne Allen. I didn't have Fleener. I had Dwayne Allen and Andrew Luck.
Did you have Hilton?
No, I didn't. I did not have Hilton. I think those were the only Colts I had, but they both did bad. Number 25, Justin Forsett, Baltimore Ravens running back. 26, Mark Ingram, New Orleans running back. Number 27, Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver for Denver. He played really well last year.
He was like a pleasant surprise.
Randall Cobb, wide receiver for Green Bay. Yeah, I could see that. I that might be pushing it a little bit. I think Jordy Nelson's a lot better than him. Well, and Jordy Nelson is number 16 overall, but
I thought Cobb had a great year last year.
Yeah, he did. I don't know.
I mean, football, it's hard to rank.
Is he the guy who's older? Is Cobb old?
No, he's young.
Or no, he's young. Okay.
Last year was this is going to be his 5th year in the league.
5th year in the league. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this list will change. Football is hard to rank because it kind of depends on what position you want. Because with football, as we said, you can't really make a top 100 list because there's so many important positions. Where baseball, it's a lot easier. It's just hitters and pitchers, even though there's a ton of positions.
I'll go through these a little faster because we're going to get through the top 100. We got Lamar Miller, T.Y. Hilton, Peyton Manning at number 31, Russell Wilson at number 32.
I'm sure the quarterbacks will make some jumps by the time the final rankings come out.
Mike Evans, he did really well for Tampa Bay. He's number 33. Melvin Gordon, DeAndre Hopkins, Jimmy Graham. There's a second tight end at number 36. Kelvin Benjamin, he has probably the best hands out of all the wide receivers, either him or Odell Beckham Jr.
I read that. No, I don't think anyone has better hands than Odell Beckham Jr. I read with Kelvin Benjamin that the Panthers are concerned about his weight right now. Apparently he showed up at like 260 pounds.
And he was like what before that?
I would assume around
like how much weight?
230.
So he gained a lot of weight during the
I know they
offseason.
said he's a wide receiver in a tight end's body, so the speed will always be an issue with him. He can make good catches, though.
38, Joik Bell, running back for Detroit.
Is he going to be the starter next year?
I have no clue. He's ranked in front of anyone else. He's ranked in front of Reggie Bush. For instance, so I don't
think
know.
they cut Reggie Bush.
Okay, well then, I don't. I would assume he'd be the number one.
Because I remember. And that's the one thing about football is the guys you draft on your bench, you probably, other than your backup quarterback, you'll probably have completely different bench players as the season goes on. That's the one thing I've noticed with football. Your team bench, other than your backup quarterback, you probably have, if it's a 6-man bench, then you have a backup quarterback and 5 rotating guys. Maybe you have 1 permanent guy that stays on the team the whole year.
Yeah. Julian Edelman, Vincent Jackson, Carlos Hyde, Frank Gore, Latavius Murray, Keenan Allen, Jonathan Stewart, Tevin Coleman, Jordan Matthews, Andre Johnson, Brandon Marshall, number 49 with the Jets now.
Have we come across any rookies? I don't think I've heard of Amari Cooper or Kevin White.
No, we haven't heard any of that yet. Greg Olson, that's the 3rd tight end, so he's, wow.
Wow, ahead of Martellus Bennett?
He is ahead of Martellus Bennett. Giovanni Bernard, Todd Gurley, Deshaun Jackson, Kevin White, there we go.
Wow, ahead of, he's probably only ahead of Cooper because he has a better quarterback.
Brandon Cooks, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Mike Wallace.
What number is Drew Brees?
Drew Brees, number 56.
Wow.
Andre Ellington, T.J. Yeldon, Rashad Jennings, LeGarrette Blount, Sammy Watkins, Tom Brady at number 65, Amari Cooper, number 66, Eric Decker, Isaiah Crowell, Travis Kelce, Martellus Bennett, tight end at number 70, Golden Tate, Nelson Aguilar, Torrey Smith, Ryan Matthews, Jeremy Maclin, Roddy White. That's the guy that was hurt, right?
Yes.
Okay. Chris, I got, since they're both kind of similar because they're both good wide receivers on Atlanta.
Yeah, Roddy White's just a shell of himself, his former self.
Okay,
now.
we're almost done. We're at number 76. 77, Chris Ivory, Doug Martin, C.J. Spiller, Jarvis Landry, Allen Robinson, Fred Jackson, Marcus Colson, Charles Johnson, Antonio Gates, Zach Ertz, Delaney Walker, Amir Abdullah, Charles Sims, Larry Fitzgerald, Martavis Bryant, Rashad Perryman, Darren McFadden, Joseph Randall.
Big Ben yet? I think he was the number one. Him and Luck were the top 2 fantasy quarterbacks last year.
I don't believe Roethlisberger was on here. Joseph Randall, Devontae Parker, Cody Latimer, Shane Vereen, Trey Mason, Devonta Freeman, and Reggie Bush. So
what team is Bush on? Or does it say?
San Francisco. He's on the 49ers.
That's probably not good news for him if Carlos Hyde is ranked ahead of him.
I must have missed that. And before we go, Ben Roethlisberger in the quarterback rankings is... Geez, where is he? Oh, he's number 10 on the on the list of quarterback rankings.
I think him and Luck were numbers 1 and 2. And I remember in my other league last year, the guy that had the first overall pick, he took Peyton Manning. Then he had Big Ben as his backup, and whenever he'd bench Peyton Manning, Manning would do better than Roethlisberger, and whenever he'd start Manning over Roethlisberger, he'd have one of those insane games.
Yeah, I could see that.
We were like, how are you benching Peyton Manning?
Right,
Your first overall pick, because he had he was like the graveyard of QBs the year before because all of his quarterbacks kept getting injured.
All right, thank you for joining us this afternoon on Ryan and Ryan for the Ryan and Ryan Power Hour here on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky.
We will see you next week. We'll have a lot of stuff to discuss as well. Have a good day, everybody. The Ryan and Ryan Power Hour podcast on SportsTownChicago.com.